Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig into it. And this is another edition of the Q&A with the IBFP. So we're going to start with Washi Rahman. Shout out to Washi Rahman. He's a very knowledgeable boxing guy here. And so, we're going to call him one of our MVPs. He states his first question, if you could be coached by any boxer of today, who would you take lessons from? I think if I could be coached by any boxer today, I would probably take lessons from Terrence Bud Crawford. He's a switch hitter. He's an elite level fighter. He was undisputed at 140 pounds, and he's the most ducked and avoided man at 147 pounds. I would have to take those lessons from Terrence Bud Crawford. He's a tremendous athlete and a great fighter. His second question that Wasi has is, when are we going to get these debates and live streams going again? They were fire. And Wasi, I appreciate that question. And you know what? We can always have an impromptu live stream or debate, but I think what we're going to start doing is implementing every other Saturday, and we're just going to start going in on live streams, debates. And when I say live streams or debates, we have to be honest and unbiased on them. So if you show up in the comment section and you have something you want to say, then you can challenge me on it. And if you want to get on the call, I accept phone calls. Follow me on Twitter, inbox me, and I'll send you the phone number so we can have a real live debate via the phone. So yes, we have the phone lines up, and you know what? We're actually going to hold a live stream debate for any fanboys that want to challenge the throne, that want to come at the IBFP. Come visit us Saturday. We'll be going live, and we're going to go in and we're going to go raw on every topic from Canelo Alvarez, Andy Ruiz, Errol Spence Jr., Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. We're going to take on all comers, all topics and all challenges, and we will have the phone lines up. Just follow me on Twitter at IBFP Boxing, inbox me, and I will send you the number so you can give us a call into the show. But let's keep it going. Thanks, Wasi. Outstrike 30 states, what's your dream fight card with today's fighter? My dream fight card with today's fighters, I would have to put, I think I would put Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence on the card. I would put Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. I would put a lot of those fights, and I would put Canelo Alvarez versus Jermall Charlo. I think I would just love to see Canelo knock off an easy tune-up. I think that would be a good card for me. The next question comes from Idel Perez. He states that Tyson Fury beat Klitschko, AJ beat Klitschko, 10-year champ. Wilder beat who? Wilder beat no one. Wilder, turned around and beat Luis Ortiz, who was never a world champion, never considered an elite level fighter, and never had a top level win. So I like Luis Ortiz. I think he's a good fighter, but I don't think he's elite, and I don't think he's above any of the other fighters. So at the end of the day, Wilder hasn't really beat anybody. He's bum-bashed his way to being the WBC heavyweight champion, and we have to be honest and unbiased about that. As far as how we rank them, 1, 2, 3, and 4, we actually have a video out. Go check it out. The next one comes from Adil Sukat, and he says, who do you believe will come out on top at 140? Seeing both Hooker versus Ramirez, Prograis versus Taylor is happening. We're bound to have an undisputed champion soon. And how do you think Mikey would do at 140? I think Mikey would do fantastic at 140, and he could possibly dominate the 140 division. I think Mikey Garcia is an elite level, top level fighter at 140 pounds and below. 147 will be too much for Mikey. At this point, if Mikey has to win against Danny Garcia for him to even be respected in boxing at the welterweight division, period. But at 140, I think Mikey would do fantastic, and he could possibly go undefeated if he came in focused and right. But it looks like he's just looking for paydays. If we look at Regis Prograis, Josh Taylor, Hooker versus Ramirez, I think it's a stacked division. It's a division that doesn't get enough shine and credit. I have Prograis and Taylor as a 50-50 fight, but ultimately I believe one of those guys will come out as leading the pack in the division. But you never know. I would never count out Hooker or Ramirez. These guys are very good as well, and they're world champions. The next one comes from Jose M. He says, Nuke, I've read a report that stated 92% of Errol Spence fans wiped from the front. Is that true? From what I understand, Jose, I believe it may be. I think Errol Spence Jr. is an elite level fighter, a top fighter. I like Errol Spence Jr. I give Errol Spence Jr. the credit. All we want to do is see him fight the best, and once he does, then we can proclaim who the best welterweight in the division is. Daniel Jake states, why do black and whites keep fighting bums? Daniel Jake, at the end of the day, we have to be honest and unbiased. We don't dig in a race, and no matter what your ethnicity is, you all fight bums. So it doesn't matter who you are or what color or what background you come from. Everyone fights bums, and we never base anything off of anyone's ethnicity. We just don't do that here. You may want to try one of the LDBC channels if you want to do that. Idel Perez also has another question. He states, what fight is bigger, Munguia versus Charlo or Triple G versus Boo Boo? I think the fight that will give us the most attention will probably be Triple G versus Demetrius Andre. I think because it's a world title fight, Triple G has a huge profile and Demetrius Andre profile has grown. But I think Munguia versus Charlo comes in a very close second because that would be fascinating to watch. The next question comes from Francisco Moreno. He says, IBFP, do you believe Mayweather caused damage to the sport via having other boxers trying to copy his moves, marinating fights, protecting their own, cherry picking, etc.? Example, Wilder versus Joshua, Crawford versus Spence, Loma versus Teofimo, and Tank. I agree 100%, and that was a great breakdown. I just think that too many fighters believe that being undefeated for your entire career is what you should anticipate. In boxing, you know, the greatest fighters of all time, Muhammad Ali, Lennox Lewis, these guys have taken L's, Manny Pacquiao, but these guys have taken on all comers. That's what you want. These are the type of fighters that you want to see, guys that aren't afraid to let that O go. And if you lose, you bounce back, you come back stronger, and then you can have trilogies and rematches, and you can determine how you adjusted. Can you come back? Can you win? How great you are. That's what we want to see from this era of fighting. And yes, Floyd did hurt the game in that sense. 2015 says, which boxer you expect to land the next large lucrative paying contract? Which boxer you expect to now only get lesser pay from now on in their career to compete? Now, that's a very interesting statement. Now, the next lucrative contract, I would say Terrence Bud Crawford, depending on how much time he has left on his contract. If he goes through and beats Errol Spence Jr., I think he's going to get a massive deal. A fighter that would get less going from now on has to be Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner is a tune-up for any fighter, period. Adrian Broner is not going to get any more of these Manny Pacquiao paydays. He will get decent pay, but it'll be much less than what it was before because he's just a showcase fighter for any decent fighter at this point. I just don't see Adrian Broner being a factor in boxing at all. He's just not that guy. But once again, this concludes the Q&A with IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.